Is full-time RVing full-time vacation? No, it's not. Let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a week or so since I've done an RV series video, so I wanted to do one real quick. Another question we get a lot is, how much touring do we do? How much vacationing style stuff do we do, being full-time RVers? To be perfectly honest, our first year when we started RVing, we got sucked into vacation mode. We really did, and we actually had a person, tell us, give us advice, before we started full timing, not to get sucked into vacation mode because it will cost you. It will cost you big. It will cost you time, money, sanity sometimes. And it's not to say that you can't do some things, and you can enjoy yourself. You can do your exploring. You can travel around the world or travel around the countries, whatever you want to do in your RV. That's fine. But if you do get sucked into vacation mode, it can cost you big. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that we've learned in the last 5 years. The last 4 years, full-time RVing, and the things that we've learned. Not necessarily the hard way, but one of them was pretty hard, but kind of an overall thing. So yeah, the first thing, of course, don't get pulled into vacation mode. You're full-time RVing. You're living in a trailer or an RV all year round. You're not on vacation all year round. You're doing 6 months in one place, 6 months in another, or any variation of that, and that's fine. It's just your way of life, right? So you're not on vacation. You're just living in a trailer, and that's what it is. That's your domicile, I guess, is your trailer or your RV or whatever you want to call it. So you just can't get sucked into that vacation mode style. Going out and seeing things every day of the week. Because you wouldn't do that if you were living in a house, right? So yeah, you just have to be careful of that. For us being snowbirds from Canada, we chase 70 degrees. If my area of Canada stayed at 70 degrees all year round, I'd never leave. So we stay in Canada for the summer, and then we head south to Florida for the winter, and we're chasing 70 plus degrees to be comfortable in your RV. I know there's lots of people that live in northern states and up in Canada that stay in their RVs all year round. Feel free to do that. It's not impossible, but to me, it's not really thriving. It's more like surviving, I think, depending on the temperatures. It can be its own animal. There's lots of people that do it. I know there's lots of great YouTube videos out there about how to winterize your rig. Not winterize it as in put it away, but set it up to live in a winter environment. So if that's something you're thinking about, definitely look that stuff up because there's some really good tips and tricks on that. The biggest thing for me, like with finances when it comes to full-time RVing, if you do get sucked into vacation mode or tourist mode, it can get expensive really fast. I'm not going to lie, our first 6-month trip, full-timing down through the southern U.S. states, from the time we left to the time we got back to our home park in Canada, we overspent by almost $10,000 in 6 months, like overspent. So that was a shocker. Because we were traveling every third day. We were only staying in places, here and there, all the way across. And we came down the east coast of the U.S. and we basically ran I-10 from Florida to California, and then we ran I-40 all the way back from west to east. So the longest we stayed in any one place, I think, was in Quartzsite, Arizona, and we were there for I think 1 month, and that's the longest we stayed in any one place. So we learned a lot on that trip, and we did learn that obviously the longer you stay in one place, the cheaper it can be. So you have to take that into account when you're doing your budgeting and stuff like that. Another thing for if you're a full timer and you're living in your rig all year round is you can't bring all your toys with you. It depends on what your hobbies are. And like I have a lot of hobbies. I fish, I golf. You know, I mean, when I'm up in Canada, I'm hunting. Like I have a lot of stuff. Um, so it's you have to kind of prioritize what I'm going to bring with me. So I love to golf. So, you know, I'm going to be in Florida for 6 months. I bring my golf clubs with me. My fishing gear comes with me, and it's got a nice little spot to sit inside the rig. So it's not really in the way. So that's not a big deal. But when you get into the whole, you know, we should have kayaks. We should have mountain bikes. We should have paddle boards in case we want to go paddle boarding, and we should do this, and we should have e-bikes and all this kind of stuff. You can only carry so much. So you kind of got to prioritize what you're going to be doing while you're traveling, um, because like you just can't bring it all. There's just so much stuff. It's unreal, and you'll find out too that you'll bring a ton of stuff, and you're not going to use half of it. So you know there is that. Last one, I'll keep this short. The last one for us, and we kind of keep it kind of like our mantra, I guess, is try to do things locally. We found so many cool things just by chance at places we had stopped overnight or a couple of days or 3 days or whatever, that we didn't even know existed. I know for an actual vacation, okay, we got 3 weeks off. We're gonna load up the rig, you know, we're gonna grab the kids or whatever, and we're gonna go see this and go see that and go see this and go see that and make a vacation out of it. That's fine and good. But when you're full time and you're not really doing that, so when you get to a place and you're there for a few days, you know, research the place, look around, see what's cool, you know what I mean, and the things to check out. My number one favorite experience of all time, we got to Arizona. We stayed at this little park right off of I-10, and we said, like, we're taking a break. We've been traveling too much. Let's stay here for 6 days. So I said to my wife, I said, well, why don't you Google and see what's around here? And we were 20 minutes from Tombstone. We were 30 minutes from a ballistic missile silo museum. We were a half an hour from Pima Air Station. If you're an aircraft person, that's the place. You know, I mean, that's the Graceland. So it was amazing. Like we had no idea that any of that was around us, and we ended up staying there for 12 days instead of 6 because we wanted to check out all these things. And you know, when I tell that story, people are like, "Well, how did you not know that that was there?" I'm like, "Well, why would I?" Right? So when you're traveling and you get to a place an area you've never been before, see what's around there. Or you know, of course, you can always plan in advance and say, "Hey, you know, we're going to be traveling along this highway, you know, in 4 days. Let's see if there's anything cool along that route, and then we can check it out any way you want." But try to keep it as local as you can, because I look at it as, if you're staying local, you should put money in local as much as you can. And some of the things you're going to find are not the great big Disney size, you know, Tombstone size things. You're going to find like a little tiny town that, you know, you book it because it's like it's on the way, and you find out it's the coolest little town you've ever seen. So there is that. So you know, not getting sucked into vacation mode. You know, I mean, that's the overall theme. You know, enjoy your traveling, enjoy the experience. You know, money's just money, but experiences is forever. So, you know, try to enjoy yourself, but just be aware that it is so easy to get sucked into vacation mode. But if you're ready for it in advance, you know, hopefully it won't hurt you that badly. So that's all I got for this video. I'll let you guys go. You know, if you like the video, give me a like. You know, send me some comments. Subscribe if you want. That's fine. You know, and I'll be putting up some more videos. Obviously, we started a home base rental thing because we bought this little house that we're kind of redoing, and it's something fun. So we'll be putting up videos about the rentals on that as well. You know, if you like the content, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you have any topics you want to talk about, or if you want to pick my brain, I'll be more than happy to do a question and answer video. And hopefully within the next probably 2 weeks, we'll be doing our first live stream, husband and wife live stream about the trials and tribulations of full timing with your spouse. So anyway, I'll cut this off. We'll talk to you guys soon, and enjoy your day. We'll talk to you later. Cheers.